here is nothing but the microwave T junction. So when we talk about the microwave T junction, these are nothing but the junctions which actually have a form of English alphabet B, and that's why they are called as the T planes or T junctions. So the first is the H plane, another is E plane T. If you combine both of this, it will be called as the EH plane T. Then you will have a hybrid junction, then you will have a magic T junction. This will be called as a hybrid, whereas you will not have isolation between 1, 2, and 4, 3, and 4. Fifth is a rat race junction. So these are the very popular junctions, out of which we are going to talk today about the H plane T junction. So if you see here the H-plane T junction and the diagram of this particular H-plane T junction, the simple waveguide structure, and it will be, you can say the power will be splitted in a particular direction. So your H-plane T junction will look like this. Okay, this is your waveguide, and you are connecting a junction here. Okay, so I can say this is your H-plane T, how it looks like. So I'm just trying to give you the exact idea how this particular junction looks like. Okay? So this particular structure will be called as the H-plane T. So here I can say this is my port 1. Always a collinear ports are named as a port 1. This will be your port 2. And this will be the larger dimension A, this will be the shorter dimension. This arm will be called as the H arm. If you'll see, whatever auxiliary arm you have connected over here will be called as the H arm. So this arm will be called as the H arm. You can see if you are giving something to the port number 1, if this is the electric field, this electric and the axis of this particular arm will be, you can say parallel. So you can say that this is, sorry, this is the H plane T. So you can say if the axis of this arm and this electric field will be perpendicular to each other. If electric field is oriented in this direction, your magnetic field will be 90 degrees. So your magnetic field and your arm of or axis of this arm will be parallel, and that's why it is called as the H plane T. So you can say this is port number 1. You can call it as a port number 2, and this is nothing but the port number 3. Always this port will be called as a port number 3. And then you can see whenever you're giving something to the port number 3, this will be nothing but the flow of the power, or I can say power current flow. So these are the collinear arms. I can say this is the power current flow in my H plane T. This is the plane of the symmetry. This is the axis of this particular. So I can say always your magnetic field will be parallel to the axis of my you can say H arm, or you can say side arm. Now, if I want to know how many ports I am having here, I have a 3 ports. So total ports are 3. So how the scattering matrix will be there? So the scattering matrix for H plane T will be of order 3 by 3. So if you write the scattering matrix for this one, it will become like this. So I'll just write here S11, S12, S13, S21, S22, S23. Similarly, S31, S32, and S33. So this is nothing but how we can write the scattering matrix for this particular H plane T. And we are going to use each and every property which we have studied in the scattering matrix. So the first property of the scattering matrix tells us that you are having that ports. How many ports are you are having is nothing but the like 3 ports. So the you are having 3 into 3, that is 9 combinations over there. Okay, you are having 9 unknowns over there whenever you are writing this particular matrix. Okay, so the first property says that your matrix is always like a symmetric matrix. And if you see, if I draw this particular H plane T in a very simple manner, this is my H plane T, this is my port 1, and this is my port 2, and this is my port 3. Now if I see the plane of symmetry, so because of this plane of symmetry, I can write the S13 must be equal to S23, because whenever you are giving something to the port number 1 coming out, so 2 and a 3, so they will be same. Now the second property is the property of symmetry. So this is the, because of the plane of symmetry, now I am going to use the second property, which is nothing but the symmetric property. So in this symmetric property, we have seen Sij must be equal to Sji. So I'll use this property. So S12 is equal to S21, S23 is equal to S32, and as this S23 is equal to S32, I can say this 23 is equal to 32, and then I can write, because of plane of symmetry, S12 here. Okay? Sorry, this will be S13. I'm so sorry. This will be S13 because 1 and 3 and 2 and 3. Okay. So I can write S13. And because of symmetry, S13 must be equal to S31. Now, if I'm getting this much of things over there because of my symmetric property, I'll just write my scattering matrix S11, S12, S13, S21, S22, S23, finally S31, S32, and S33. So if I put all the values over here by this particular equation, so S12 becomes 21, and again 21 becomes 12. So 21 जहाँ पे भी है आपका यहाँ पे, you can replace it with the S12. Then S23, you replace it with the S13. S32, you can replace it with the S13, और with this particular you can go 31 है तो 13 क्योंकि symmetry property है. ठीक है? So I'll just replace all that things. Now I'm going to use another property, which is nothing but sorry, I'm not going to use this property over there, but the third thing which I'm going to consider is nothing but I am assuming here that port 3 is perfectly matched. So if my port 3 is perfectly matched, I can say S33, there will be no reflections in the same port. Now my matrix here becomes S is equal to, I just put all the values, S11, S12, S13. I have replaced my 21 with 12, 22 same. I have replaced my 23 with a 13. Then this also 31 becomes 13. This becomes 13 because it was initially 32, which is nothing but the 23, and that 23 is nothing but the you can say 13. So this is the replacement, and this is a 0. Now I have got my scattering matrix. Now initially I was having 9 unknowns. Now if I see the unknowns here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. These are same, 1, 1, 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 unknowns. Now here we have 4 unknowns. So initially we were having 9 unknowns. Now I have 4 unknowns. So if I go through all these 4 unknowns, now here I'm going to use my next property, that is a property of unitary. So what that unitary property tells me, so the complex conjugate of that particular matrix, if I multiply with that matrix, I'll get a unit matrix of order 3 by 3. Okay, so I'll put all that values over here again. So my first matrix is S11, S12, S13. Next is S12, S22, S13. Again S13, S13, 0. And then I'm going to put a complex conjugate of same matrix, which is nothing but the S11, S12, S13, S12, S22, S13, 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 then 0. And the product of this is nothing but the unitary matrix, which is nothing but the 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Now I have got something. Now I can calculate all these things to get. So to have a 1 here, what I should do, ठीक है, अगर आपको यहाँ पे 1 चाहिए तो I can say R1 C1. So R1 C1 gives me the value of 1. ठीक है. So if you are interested in R1 and C1, which is nothing but the first row of this and a first column यहाँ पे. So I can write S11 complex conjugate plus S12 S12 complex conjugate, S13 complex conjugate, which is nothing but the 1. ठीक है, so I can write mod S11 square plus mod S12 square plus mod S13 square, which is nothing but the 1. Let us give this particular equation as equation number 1. Now the second, R2C2. If I'm going to calculate R2C2, the second row and the second column, similarly, it will give me the same kind of result. The second row is S12 square plus S22 square plus S13 square is equal to 1. Let us give this equation as the equation number 2. Okay. Now I have got something. I have got two equations over here. I'll just do remember these equations first. All the terms are same. 1 1, here 1 2, here 1 2, here 2 2, here 1 3 1 3. Okay. So equation 1 and 2. Now next is R3 C3. So if you multiply R3 with the C3, you'll get S13 square plus S13 square, which is nothing but the 1. Okay. So let us give this equation as equation number 3. So if 2S13 square is equal to 1, I can write S13 square is equal to 1 by 2, and if I know S13 will become 1 by root 2. So I have got one unknown here, that is S13. So if I have got one unknown here, I can find other unknowns by putting these values there. ठीक है. So अगर आपको S13 मिला है, so if you do recall your equation number 2 here, just comparing the equation number 1 and 2, if you compare this equation number 1 and this equation number 2, this term, just concentrate on these two equations, whereas it will give you आपका S12 यहाँ पे है common, ठीक है, S12 यहाँ पे है, so this is common, so this S13 यहाँ पे है और S3 यहाँ पे है. So comparing equation number 1 and 2, I can say S11 is equal to S22. So comparing equation 1 and 2, I can write S11 is equal to S22. So this is nothing but the second thing which I have concluded here. Now if S11 is equal to S22, I can go for the another multiplication, which is nothing but the R3C1. If I do R3C1, this is my row 3 and this is my C1. So R3C1 will give me, this is R3C1, which gives me S11 S13 plus S13 S12 complex conjugate, which is equal to 0. So just using this particular equation, I can write R3C1 gives me S13 S11 complex conjugate plus S13 S12 complex conjugate is equal to 0. Okay. So in this equation, I can say that my S13 S11 plus S12 complex conjugate is equal to 0. Now S13 cannot be 0. Okay. Either this term will be 0 or this term will be 0. So from equation number 6.9, we can say S13 cannot be 0. Okay, because of the symmetry that whenever you are giving something to the 1, obviously it should come out of that particular. So here, hence, another term S11 complex conjugate, S12 complex conjugate must be 0. Okay? Or I can say S11 complex conjugate must be equal to 1, 2. So complex conjugates are having this relation, then I can say S11 is equal to minus S12. Okay? And if you are having this kind of a relation, just put this relation or put this equation in the equation number 1. So you'll get that particular equations, whereas we know that equation number 1, that is S11 mod square plus S12 and 1 1 same, that's why I put it 1 1 here, plus 1 half is equal to 1, which is S11, S12, S13. 13 we have found out, that is nothing but the 1 by 2. So this will become 2S11 square plus 1 half is equal to 1, which gives me S11 square is equal to minus, sorry, 1 minus half will be half. So I can say S11 square will be, I can just write here 2 is divided, so this will become 1 by 4, and the square root of both gives me S11 is equal to 1 by 2. So if I'm saying the relationship of S11 is equal to minus S12, then I can say S12 must be equal to minus 1 by root 2. Now here I have got all the things, that is S13, S11, S12. Now only thing which is left is nothing but the S22. So how to find out that S22? I have that S22 in equation number 2. So I'll just put equation number 2, S12 square plus S22 square plus S13 square is equal to 1. So S12 we have calculated, which is nothing but the 1 by 2 minus, that is square, plus S22 square. 13 we have already 1 by root 2 square, which is nothing but the 1. So if I'm interested in S22 ka square, it is, I'll guess this will be 1 by 4, this will be 1 by 2, this will be 1. So this will be minus 1 half, sorry, this will be half only, 1 minus, and minus 1 by 4 will become again 1 by 4. So S22 square root will become 1 by 2. I hope this value, oh yes, this becomes 1 by 2. So putting all these values in the equation, which I have seen in the matrix, which we have seen. So we have seen the matrix of this sort. S is equal to S11, S12, S13, S12, S22, this was S13 again, this was S13, this was S13, and this was 0. So we have got all the values here. So putting all the values in this equation will get 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, it's 1 by root 2, this is minus 1 by 2, this is 1 by 2, this is 1 by root 2, this will be 1 by root 2, this will be 1 by root 2, and this will be 0. So this will be the scattering matrix for H plane T. So if you put all these values in the previous equation, which says that B is equal to S into A, then the complete equation will become B1, B2, B3 is equal to 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 0 into your input, which is nothing but the B1, B2, and B3. So this is nothing but the how you're going to solve the things. So if you consider the case number 1 here, we are going to talk about 3 cases. So if I consider one case, that is your input is given to the port number 3 and no input at port number 1 and 2. So we can say that your B1, sorry, this is the inputs A1, A2, and A3. So the relationship here between these inputs and outputs will be given by B1 is equal to 1 half A1 minus 1 half A2 plus 1 by root 2 A3. The B2 will have minus 1 half A1 minus 1 half A2 plus 1 by root 2 A3. And you can have B3 is equal to 1 by root 2 A1 plus 1 by root 2 A2. So we'll consider first case, which is nothing but the your A3 is not 0, your A1 and A2 are 0. So this means that you are giving input to the port number 3 and you are not giving any input to the port number 1 and port number 2. So in this case, if I write here B1 is equal to 1 half A1 minus 1 half A2 plus 1 by root 2 A3, and similarly this one will be minus 1 half A1 minus 1 half A2 plus 1 by root 2 A3, and your B3 is equal to 1 by root 2 A1 plus 1 by root 2 A2. So if input is given from A3 and A1 A2, so B3 will become 0 in this case. B1 A3 0 A3 0, the inputs like your output will be, you can say, given as a A3 by root 2. So here B1 is equal to A3 by root 2. Similarly, B2 is nothing but the A3 by root 2. When you say the outputs are coming out from the B1 and B2 are in terms of the intensity. So if it is by root 2 means you can say your power is splitted by half. So this H plane T is also called as the 3 dB splitter. So you can say this power will be terminated, or this power will be in terms of the half power. So if I'm saying that let P3 is corresponding to A3 and the power coming out of that particular ports, so P3 is equal to P1 plus P2, which is nothing but the 2P1. Okay, so if you say this is 2P1, the amount of power coming out from the port number 1 and 2 will be 10 log to the base 10 P1 by P3. So you can say this will be the 10 log to the base 10 P1 divided by 2P1. So this will be 10 log to the base 10 1 by 2, which comes minus 3 dB. So you can say this particular H plane T works as a 3 dB splitter. So whatever power you're giving to the port number 3, that will be divided equally in port number 1 and 2. Half of the power will go to the port number 1 and half of the power will go to the port number 2. So this is the first case. In the second case, we are assuming that you are giving the inputs to the port number 1 and port number 2 same, and A3 is not given anything. So here B1 will become A by 2 minus A by 2 plus 1 by root 2 A3, which is nothing but the A3 by 2, which will be 0. Okay? Then B2 will have minus A by 2 plus A by 2 plus 1 by root 2 A3. Again, it will be A3 by root 2, which is 0. And what about the B3, which is A1 by root 2 plus A2 by root 2, which comes A by root 2, because equal power is given, which A by root 2. So if you are giving the equal power, the output you are going to get is nothing but the 2A. So A1 by root 2, A1 by root 2. So this will be the 2A by root 2, which is nothing but the 2 root 2A. So the output at port number 3 is nothing but the addition of two inputs at port number 1 and port number 2. So you can say this is nothing but the how you are calculating the total power. This will be the A1 by root 2, A2 by root 2. So 2A by root 2 will become the addition of this both the inputs. So this is all about the analysis of H plane T. So if you understand how we have analyzed this H plane T, similarly we can go for the E plane.